Aren't these pretty spring colors? I'm excited because today we're going to do a cherry blossom tree. So with some light blue and white on my mop brush, I'm going to do back and forth strokes on my canvas, but when I get towards the middle, I'm going to tint that light blue with the light green, gold, and teal, just a little bit to make it look like a fade. And then when I get over halfway down, I'm going to use all of those shades of color to create a almost pond or river that looks like it has algae growing in it. It's more of a green-blue tone, which is really pretty. And then in the horizon, I do want something way back there, so taking some gray and dark brown, I'm going to do a line. And I don't really want mountains because I don't want to lose all this pretty color, but I'm going to do a wavy line over top of that and fill in between that straight line and wavy line to look like rolling hills or mountains way in the distance. You can even highlight the tops a little bit to make it look like the sun is shining on them. Perfect. All right, so we need somewhere to grow our cherry tree from. So I'm on the left-hand side in the corner. I'm going to do a tilted line down and fill in that corner with dark brown. It's going to be kind of on the edge of a bank. And then with dark brown, while I have the same brush, I'm using a medium round brush with some dark brown and tan. I'm going to do two lines going up like this, not all the way to the top, but stopping a couple inches from the top. And then when I fill in the trunk, I'm going to start adding some branches out from there. Now, cherry trees, especially when they're in bloom, the branches really are so heavy. So I'm going to have some going up, but a lot of them are going to be curved out and down because they're being weighed down by the blooms. So be as detailed as you want with it. I'm going to have a whole bunch of them coming out. You can use a detail brush if you want, and don't forget to make sure your branches have a V shape of some kind coming out from the trunk. I'm going to add a little highlight there. Perfect. Now you could use a fan brush to do grass, but I'm going to use my detail brush today because I want to be a little bit more controlled. I'm taking dark green and light green, doing upward strokes, and I'm going to leave some of the brown showing through because this bank is near the water. I'm expecting there to be a little bit more muddy areas, so that's why I did brown first instead of dark green. Let's see, I want one of those white ornamental walking bridges. I'm going to do a post on the ground and do two rainbow shapes going over to the other side. And then you can fix up the post with a detail brush if you need to. And I'm also going to take the detail brush, and in between the curved lines, I am going to do some straight up and down lines. No matter where they are on the curve, they're always going straight up and down. And I'm going to add them throughout, spacing them out as evenly as I can. And however you design your bridge, especially if you do white paint, I always suggest going back in and adding some gray then, especially while it's wet, using gray and a little bit of white to blend it. This is just going to make it look a little bit more three-dimensional, because if you look at anything that's white, look at it today, look at something that's white, and you'll see it has some gray tones as shadows. So I'm going to do that to each of the posts, and then I'm going to go backwards and redo the curved lines to clean up the rough edges and do the post last. Perfect. Okay, so to do the cherry blossoms, we're going to use a skewer or a shish kebab stick. Making me hungry, but we're going to use the circle end of it, and we're going to take some white paint first and just dab. Now, the first time you dab with it, it's going to give you a big circle, and then the more you dab off the paint, it's going to give you this little bit of texture. I love this for doing cherry blossom trees because you have much more control than using a sea sponge, which you could technically use the sea sponge if you wanted to save time, but I want to be a little bit more particular about where these blooms are. Notice how I'm covering the branch, but I'm also bringing the blooms out from the branch and coming down. There looks like little fingers coming off of the branches. Even towards the middle of the branch, I have these little appendages of blossoms hanging down. That's because the blossoms are so heavy. And when you get to a certain point, don't worry too much about the top because cherry blossom trees, especially in full bloom, are really thick. So then I am going to take my sea sponge with some white paint and dab in some texture that's a little thicker at the top. I actually really like the look of the sea sponge and the shish kebab stick dots on this together. I think that looks really cool. And my husband and I did go to see the cherry blossoms in DC this year, and I was actually surprised to know that most of them were white, but they were tinted pink just a little bit. So I'm going to go back in then and take some light pink and a couple dots of dark pink and kind of space it throughout. Same thing with the sea sponge at the top. So that's how I did the cherry blossoms in this one. Now, while we were in DC, we also noticed that they were flying off the trees in the wind and landing on the ground. So I'm going to take my sponge and add a little bit in the grass. And don't forget to do a couple blades of grass in front of your bridge. Perfect. Okay, let's make this interesting. I'm taking a detail brush with some dark green and I'm making some imperfect ovals in the water. Smaller ones behind the bridge and bigger ones towards the front of it. These are going to be lily pads. See, I did dark green. I'm going to add some highlighting to the top of them and add a couple clusters. They usually come in 3 or 4. So after you add all your lily pads, I'm going to do a couple little lily flowers. I'm taking some of the pink from the blooms with my detail brush and just doing a few upward strokes and then dotting in some white. I'm not being too particular, just adding a little bit of texture for flowers. Let's add some stems in the grass because I want there to be tulips. I'm taking some of the dark pink and then white and doing a couple upward strokes on top of each of the stems. I'm even going to add a little bit of red towards the bottom. See, I'm not being too particular. It's all about texture and highlights. Let's add a couple more blades of grass. And while I have the light green, I'm just going to make my lily pads brighter. I decided to make them tinted a little bit brighter. It's up to you what color you do them. Perfect. All right, this mountain is bothering me because it needs to be darker. It would have a shadow. So I'm taking some of the dark brown and I'm doing a line underneath it. And then I'm going to make it uneven like the mountain is reflecting in the water. But then I'm going to take just a wet brush, not too much water because you don't want it to drip. And I'm going to go over it until it's almost transparent. And I'm picking up most of the paint, but I'm using the water to dilute it to make it look like a reflection in the water. And then once I do that, in between there, I'm going to do a dark line of dark green in between the mountain and the reflection, and then bounce in some of that dark green with this. I'm just using my medium round brush for this. I'm going to bounce in some texture on top of that dark line to make it look like trees in the distance. Super simple, but it's up to you how much detail you do. And there we go. Happy Easter, everybody. If you enjoyed this tutorial and you want to see more, follow me here on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Have fun.